everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you today? Very good, very good. All right. Today we'll continue talking about cause and effect paragraph. Last time we discussed a few points regarding cause and effect, and we said that cause and effect are very much interdependent. That is to say, we cannot think of a cause without thinking of its effects or its consequences, and vice versa. We cannot think of effects without actually discussing or examining the causes of this effect. Today we'll continue doing some more practice in this. So generally, whenever we want to write a cause and effect paragraph, we have to actually support this paragraph or this topic that addresses a cause or an effect with a number of things. For example, we should give good examples for a cause or for an effect. We should provide definitions, descriptions, narrations, and or comparisons. That is to say, the more you provide support to your idea, to your topic sentence, the better and the more clearer and the clearer it gets. All right. So whenever we write, we have some causal patterns. All right. So we have to have some kind of organization for how we want to organize the writing of our paragraph about causes and effects. Generally, we have you might be given an effect, and you are asked to give or to write about the causes, or the other way around. You have a cause, for example, and you want to think about or write about the effects of this. For example, air pollution, and we want to talk about the effects of air pollution, the negative, of course, effects of air pollution. And sometimes we have something called causal or chain reasoning. That is to say, there is a cause that leads to an effect, and this effect leads to another effect, and so on. So as a kind of a chain order. Let's just quickly look at these examples just to illustrate the idea better. Okay, so we have a cause here. Okay, or we have an effect here, car accidents, for example. It's an effect. What are the causes or the possible causes of car accidents? A cause might be bad road infrastructure, for example, or careless driving, or lack of law enforcement, and so on. So these are the causes that we can possibly write about in order to examine the effects or the issue of car accidents. We have the other way around. For instance, we have greenhouse emissions, which is a cause, for example, that leads to a number of consequences, that leads to a number of effects. For instance, climatic changes, as we see here and everywhere else in this world. Or another effect is danger to coastal regions, for example. Or a third effect might be a change in weather patterns, as we see today. Today is a cold day in Gaza here. All right. So, and sometimes we have the third type or the third pattern, which is chain reasoning. So we have greenhouse emission that causes global warming. This causes an effect, and this effect leads to let's just say it becomes a cause for other effects. Okay, for negative effects on natural resources, changes to agriculture, or endangering wildlife, animals or species. So again, we have a kind of a chain, an effect or a cause leads to an effect, and this leads also to another effect. Is this clear? So have this kind of understanding of this conception whenever you want to write about chain, about cause and effect writing patterns. Okay? This is an example, for instance. We have a topic sentence here. Nowadays, smoking has increased in many different ways because of several causes. What are these possible causes of the increase in people smoking cigarettes, for example? So we have the supporting points. In other words, we have the causes here. One of them is some people have a lot of free time, and therefore they sort of try to just waste their time smoking and so on. Another cause could be being surrounded by smokers, and this actually leads people to sort of leads them to smoke, for example, especially with people at younger ages. Okay, and then we have commercials or big advertisements, which is another cause for tempting people into the habit or the bad habit of smoking. So these are three possible causes for why there is more and more people are smoking, for instance. And then we have the conclusion. In conclusion, smoking is a very bad phenomenon, and the government must enforce laws that should or that eliminate it. So we have, this is an outline for a cause and effect paragraph. Here we are addressing the causes. Another example is when we discuss the effects of something. This is a topic sentence, for instance. Watching too much TV has many effects on the physiology and the psychology of people. What are the effects of watching too much TV? One effect is
eating disorders.
It leads people, or it leads to eating disorders. For example, we have something called TV meals. People who are sitting in front of the TV and they just consume larger quantities of food without actually recognizing the possible harmful effects of this sort of large consumption of food. And also we have obesity as another effect of eating disorder. We can also have communication problems for people who watch too much TV. For example, this might lead to more violence, and also there is little social interactions. Okay? So again, the idea here is always have this kind of understanding of this order of how you want to organize your ideas. You have a cause and you discuss the effects, and or you have an effect and you want to discuss the causes. Is this clear?
Yes.
All right. Last time we talked about transitions, some transitions that can be used in a cause and effect paragraph. Let's just consider this paragraph and notice the words that we can actually use in cause and effect writing. For example, let's just quickly read it. Okay? There are various reasons why more people, there are various reasons, there are various causes. Why more people are suffering from stress today. One reason, or the first reason is that the fast pace of life nowadays means causes that we do not always find time to relax. Likewise, similarly, okay, it is difficult to find a good work-life balance, okay, due to the pressure to produce results at work. Another related cause of stress is the need to earn money to survive in our commercial and material world. Indeed, life today is very stressful and complex. So what we have here are some words, some verbs, some adjectives, some adverbs that help us in connecting our causes and correcting our effects in a nice and a logical way. Okay, let's focus today on using transitions in cause and effect writing. Okay, what I'd like you to do now is to read this paragraph very quickly and fill in the blanks with the transitions that can be used suitably in this paragraph. Okay. All right. So we have means, similarly, cause, due to, one reason, and reasons. Fill in the blanks with the suitable word in this respect. Okay? All right, are we finished? Yes. Please. Yes. There are
a number of different reasons.
Okay, there are a number of different reasons why young people from developing countries choose to immigrate. Yes, please, here.
One reason is that.
Yes, why is that? Because we have the verb is, so we have always the grammar helps us in choosing the right word. If it is a word or a phrase, an adjective, a noun, an adverb, and so. So one reason
Is that.
yes, very nice, is that the poor economic situation where they live means that, very nice, means that they do not have many jobs, job opportunities. Okay, after that, so we have similarly, very nice, because I need an adverb here. Similarly, it is difficult to earn enough to survive due to. Okay, due to, and remember this, we talk about this later in 10 minutes or so. Due to the low level of salaries compared to wealthier countries. And finally, another cause. Okay, because an adjective and then we have an adverb of immigration is that they are tempted by people, blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right, let's see another example of a paragraph, and what we need to do is to complete this paragraph with a suitable transition word or phrase. What does the word obese mean? Overweight. Yes. All right? Okay, we done? Yes, please.
There are a number of reasons why.
Yes, there are a number of reasons. There are a number of reasons why children are more obese nowadays. Yes, please. One reason. One reason is that they eat too much fast food. Yes, continue, please. This unhealthy means that they put on the weight unnecessarily. And then we have likewise, yes, very much like similarly. Likewise, their parents do not supervise what they are eating. Their parents are busy. Yes, please.
Their parents are too busy to survive their eating habits because of their busy or own busy lifestyles. Another cause, yes, another cause of childhood obesity is lack of exercise. Okay, so what we see here are some transitions. Some are again adjectives, some are nouns, some are verbs, and so on, because they help connect the ideas together. Okay, now let's also do some more exercise on this, and this time we're going to use prepositions, to use the appropriate or suitable preposition in
in the suitable place, of course. So we have to of, in, of, by, and for. Fill in the blanks with a suitable transition in this respect. Alright, let's see. Yes, let's start with you. Yes.
Now almost certain that global warming has been
Directly caused by. So we have the prepositions by means use of fossil fuels. This has led to yes, lead to. This has led to a big debate about what we should do to reduce the negative effects. Yes, very nice. Negative effects of our of our action, and how we can make the planet safe for our children's children to live in. One result of this debate has been to improve the level of green education. What does green education mean? That's to say raising awareness about the importance of protecting the environment. So it's about protecting the environment by doing a lot of actions that make our environment safe and yes. So in which, one result of this debate has been to improve the level of green education, which should result in, yes, which should result in, okay. Result here is a verb, and whenever we use result as a verb, it is followed by in, which should result in a greater awareness of this difficult issue. So the result of the war, because result is a noun, is followed by a preposition of. If it is a verb, it is followed by in. Okay? However, in the short term, would like to continue. However, in the short term, Delia, please.
In the short term, there still remains much to be done. The reason of this is...
The reason of this or the reason for this. The reason for this is that we need to address the causes the causes of. Okay? So, we have the reason for something, the cause of something. Remember this. The reason for something and the causes of something. So, again, I'd like you to pay attention to the use of prepositions. Okay? Alright? Is this clear? So, the reason for this is that we need to address the causes of something, of the immediate problem. Okay? Alright. Now, let us just conclude with this last point about transitions used with cause and effect writing. Just remember these things. We talked about this, but it is important to always highlight these things. Whenever I use because, it is always followed by a complete sentence. Okay? And the same thing also applies to as a result, and the same thing also as a consequence, and therefore, and so on. So whenever we see these transitions, they are always followed by a complete sentence. For instance, crime rates are increasing because there is much violence on television. And the same thing, the government is building more roads. As a result, the traffic congestion makes or has problem has increased. So what we have here is a complete sentence. And finally, the economy is improving as a consequence. The unemployment rates has or have gone up, okay, or have gone down, sorry. Alright, so what we see here is that these transitions are generally or always followed by a complete sentence. However, when we see words like transitions such as because of, due to, and thanks to, it is always followed by a noun, not a sentence. It's followed by a noun or a noun phrase or a pronoun, but never a complete sentence. Okay? For instance, crime rates are increasing because of violence on television. This is a noun phrase. Okay? And the same thing, the government is building more roads due to the problem of the traffic congestions, another noun phrase. And the same thing, the economy is improving thanks to, alright, an increase in investment projects. And the same thing, it is a noun phrase, not a sentence. Okay? Alright, now let's read these sentences and decide which one has a mistake, which one of these sentences contains a mistake, and which one is correct. Okay? And try to correct it, and try to correct the sentence, of course, the which has a mistake in it.
Alright, let's see number 1. Yes, please.
I was late to work because of.
Okay, so this is a correct or not correct? Yeah, it's not correct because of the heavy traffic. So it is followed by a noun phrase. Okay, Abby, please. The global population.
Global population has increased because of much better levels of
Correct or not correct? Correct, yes, it is a correct sentence. Very good. Because of much better levels of nutrition. Yes, please.
It's raining today. As a result, we are not going to the beach. Correct.
Yes, it is correct. Because what we have is a sentence. All right. Number 4.
Yes.
Number 4. Yes, please.
It's not easy to generalize because of there are many causes of pollution. False.
False. Because we have to delete
Complete sentence.
down. Okay, because it's followed by a complete sentence. Very nice. And number 5. Number 5. Yes, please, over there. Yes, you, please.
Because there is a temperature, the climate in many countries is changing.
So, correct? It's false. Okay, so we can fix it by because of the rise in temperature. The climate in many countries is changing. Let's continue the remaining sentences. Yes. Alright, let's see. The next one. Yes, number 6.
The increase in crime is
Due to?
Poverty reason is correct.
Yes, correct. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, due to, and then we have, yes, it is correct. Number 6. Alright, number 7. Yes, please.
We succeeded in
Getting?
good graduate
Thanks to your hard work.
it.
It's a correct sentence, of course. Alright, and number 8. It is raining.
It was raining heavily. As a consequence, we had to stay at home.
True?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, what we have is a sentence. Alright, and the next one, please.
We have to cancel the match because the match is not true.
It's true?
No.
Just double check because of the bad weather. Very nice. And finally, number 10. Yes, at the back. Because she was careful. So after due to, this is not a correct choice of transitions. Yes, please.
Due to her carelessness.
Because due to her carelessness. Okay. So what we have here is actually not due to, but it has to be because she was not careful. All right. All right. So what we've done so far is looking at different transitions that we can use, and we have to be careful about them. Let's finish with this exercise. What I'd like you to do is to write 1 or 2 more supporting sentences
for this paragraph. Let's see. The rise of the internet has had profound, deep, very deep effects on our lives. First, email is now very familiar to us. For example, or for instance, many of us can communicate with their friends, relatives, blah, 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 blah. Now we're going to write about the second effect of the internet on our lives. Okay? So what I'd like to do is just to write one more effect and give me one sentence as an example of this effect. All right? Yes, please. So it could be about education, it could be about research, it could be about communication, it could be about different things. That I'm just giving you some ideas to enlighten your thinking about this topic. You just go for information. It's no sort of the internet has. It's actually extension. You just go for all information. For example, they have but it has through the internet. For example, students can look for information in any subject. After the internet, it's more logical this way. Second, but this is a fragment. We talked about this before. Okay? The second effect is, this is just a title, but it's not part of the paragraph. Remember this, because this is a fragment. We can, second, for example, second, comma, we can search for, yes, just remember second, comma, or third, here in this case it's third. We can search for information that is where there are many websites for the listening and just write this. Second, that has to improve the way we communicate. For example, Skype. And we just have a clear effect. Search for something, you look for something. When you search something, you study it. For example, Third, two. Now, where's the second? Alright, let's see. Just very quickly. Yes, please.
Students can solve their homework in the second. Students can solve their homework and send it to their teacher and have their grades and improve their next semester classes.
Okay, very nice. But this is an example. I would like to see the effect in general. Okay, very good, very good. Anyway, yes, I would like. Yes, please.
Nowadays, most students depend on the internet during their study.
Very nice.
For example, they serve on internet website to get specific information.
Very nice.
Videos related to their studies.
Excellent. Okay, very nice. Very nicely written. Yes, please.
Second, the internet developed the way of communication. For example, Skype nowadays can we connect with other people in any place in the world. We can exchange information. For instance, students in university can do conference with other students and listen to each other.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Very good example that you've written. Second, the internet has had great benefits for students. Alright? Or the internet has benefited, has immensely benefited students, okay, in different ways, okay? For example, this is the second reason, okay, the importance of the internet for learning purposes, okay? For instance, students can use the internet
To do
for what? To do what? To
Look for.
to search for information, to look for information, to search for learning materials. Okay. Download lectures or lecture materials. Okay. Communicate, and finally, just because of short of time, and communicate with other students and teachers. Okay, very nice. Okay. So we have here the benefits of the internet has had profound benefits, especially to students or to learners. For example, students can now use the internet to download important information, search for learning resources, and finally, and to communicate with other students and learners. Okay, so what we see here again is a kind of very good writing, cause and effect, paragraph writing. And here in this case we're looking at the effects of something, okay, the effects of the internet on generally on our lives. Okay, we'll stop right here. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.